I should start my senior project. I'll start it later. I've got too much time anyways. So much time that it feels like not enough time. Funny how it works out that way. I can't remember the last 2 months. It's like they were water that slipped through my hands. It happened without much awareness as I failed to hold on to some small portion of the liquid falling past my fingers. And all it left was an unpleasant mess. Who's going to clean that up? The only thing that marks the phenomenon of time passing are the last few due dates I have. Days of the week have been eradicated. All I have left is 10 days away from due date, 6 days away from due date, 3 days, 2 days, 1. I need to start my senior project, but this headache is killing me. I try to pull my neck to one side in hopes of hearing the satisfying popping noises and release of pressure, but they stick. Like a sneeze you just can't get out. I can't work with this headache. It won't seem to leave me alone. The headache that starts in my shoulders and works itself up the back of my neck. I can't help but to think that the muscles feel like strings tied too tightly. And maybe, just maybe, if you could cut one loose, it would let go of the tension. I want to start my senior project, but I can't seem to find a topic to do it on. What much more can I display other than cooking, painting, or planting? Which isn't to say I'm not proud of my abilities in those areas, but I'm sure a lot of others are too. And maybe it's a backwards way of thinking, yet I can't help but to base all of my decisions on the foundation of standing out. How do I cope with the concept that my brain has stripped all sense of originality from me, as if a homeowner broke into their own house in the middle of the night, taking everything out into the street, and then the next morning stood in shock at their empty home? For me, creativity should come naturally. All I ever needed to do was sit alone and let loose the ideas like a cooped-up animal let out of its cage for the first time in days. This time I'm the one cooped up, but I have little desire to run free. Here I am, staring blankly at my dark gray walls. There's a pile-up on the main freeway of my mind, a horrible, treacherous accident, and there's no task force to clean it up. All of my ideas and inspirations are stuck sitting miles behind the accident, honking their horns at each other, wondering why in the hell have they been stuck in traffic for 2 months. Everything has come to a halt for me. I tell myself to go for a drive to feel better and let the sky and trees wash over me, but I end up sitting in my driveway for 30 minutes struggling to pick a song because nothing sounds good anymore. In all fairness, I can say that I've learned a lot about myself, about who I am, how I function, and why, interesting enough, spending time alone without distractions really seems to uncover every flaw you try to bury. It's like a hole you keep falling in, no matter how many times you put up a yellow neon sign with the words "Watch for Hole" in striking black. And it's become painfully obvious that I have a lot of work to do. It's a long, gravelly road that crumbles and cracks beneath your steps, but at least now I know where to start. Which reminds me, I've got to start my senior project.